Almost stepped on this little guy. Nice young little copperhead. Look at this fella. Just gorgeous. Love these guys. Now this guy is a very, very young little copperhead and very light colored. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful specimen. You know, I truly love these guys. They are just so, so awesome, these little pit vipers. Of course, you know, venomous, so you do want to keep your distance, but they are just such beautiful little creatures. And obviously I've been studying these guys for a few decades, and I just love them every time I find them. They're so sweet. All right, we just have some deer right here. He doesn't know what he thinks of me yet. Now they do. They're like, oh, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Beautiful. All right, so I looked it up, and what it turns out that's an invasive little creature called the hammerhead flatworm. So, the more you know, huh? Ooh, we got here. Beautiful, beautiful snake. Another copperhead. You know, of course, we're going to find a bunch of these this time of year. This one is probably born actually last year, but it's just a beautiful snake. Beautiful, beautiful snake. I love these guys so much. And like I say, no matter how many I find of them, I just love every single one. They are so awesome. Alright, so here's a happy surprise. I actually found myself a little rat snake. How sweet. Oh, and he couldn't just be more friendly. Of course, I say that and then he'll probably bite me, but... Look at this little fella. So look, oh, don't bite my face, buddy. It's a little Texas rat snake. There's a little young one here. I don't see these too often over here, even though they're around. They are incredibly camouflaged, and so you know, a lot of times they're hard to find. Let's just kind of get this guy a little bit more comfortable. But look at this. That is sweet, a little young Texas rat snake. That's really sweet. I really didn't expect to see one of these today, but here we are with a Texas rat snake, a little juvenile Texas rat snake. That is sweet. In the country, they're known as chicken snakes quite often, which there's no such thing as a chicken snake. This is just a common name, another common name for the rat snake. These guys are freaking awesome. They get pretty huge, pretty huge. I mean, these guys will get up, you know, 7, 8 feet even sometimes. They can get big. I think the biggest ever might have been somewhere actually near between 8 and 9 feet that I know of. You know, I could be wrong, so you know. Who knows? But what a beautiful snake. And of course, we'll just go ahead and let him go back about his way as he was. Look how calm this little guy is. Ooh. Look at this little baddie. Awesome. And this is what I expected to see today, honestly. It's a little bit of a chilly day, and finding a bunch of copperheads under the log is to be pretty expected. But nonetheless, I love it. And of course, these guys are, you know, the most common pit viper that you're going to find in my area anyhow. Hematoctic venom. Their venom is not quite as serious as most of the other pit vipers that you'll find here in the US of A. But nonetheless, they are venomous, and you never know what may happen if you get bit, because you could definitely be allergic. And when you're allergic, the reaction to the venom is obviously much worse. And you definitely don't want to find out the hard way that you are allergic. So, keep your distance and, be respectful. And you can easily just check out these awesome, awesome creatures. And, I love them. I'm going to be real gentle and let your log down, because it's got a nice concave spot. See, look, it's got this huge concave area, so I should be able to do this pretty easily. But anyway, I'm gonna just gently let his log down and see if we can find some more today. See, it's nice and slow. There we are. All right. Check this one out. Ooh, there we are. Like I said, this is what I expected to find today, a bunch of copperheads, because, say, when it's cool in the morning, but warm enough in the afternoon, that's what you find at this time of fall. Like, really, there was somebody under here. There was somebody under here with him. Look at this guy. A huge, huge wolf spider. This thing is like, it is huge. It's massive. With the legs and everything, it's about a 3-inch spider. That's amazing. Look at that. Right here by his copperhead pal. Pretty sweet. Let's see if we can get this big old log. And we could, but there's nothing underneath it, unfortunately. Ooh. Beautiful little chap there. Like I say, don't try things like this on your own, because, if you don't know what you're doing, you can really get hurt. And I could still get hurt too, so let's not actually confuse this with, like, there's never a guarantee that nothing bad will happen. And, I am taking a risk when I do things like this, and you may think, why? It's honestly, it's just show you that, honestly, their true nature is that they're not evil, creatures that are out there to attack you. They're just, they're just little animals. They might not be just cute and things like that. You might not find them cute, like you might find like a little squirrel or a rabbit, or, whatever you might have, but they're definitely just little creatures that want to go about their life, doing what they got to do, just like everybody else. Just like everybody and everything else. Just good, beautiful little creatures that fit in the ecosystem and have a purpose. So when you see them, don't hurt them, because they're not horrible, awful creatures. They're beautiful, beautiful animals that have a purpose out here. So just remember that, and have respect for them. And probably don't put them on your leg like this. But like I'm today, I'm just, just showing you that these guys aren't just so. And I like to do this. You hear me say this a lot, but I like to show people that they're not just horrible, monsters that are out there to go. You better watch out, or like that. That saying, if it was a snake, it would have bit me, whenever people walk past something. No, if it was a snake, it would have minded its own business and been glad that you passed without messing with it. And that's about it. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and put this guy. So we're just going to go ahead and let this guy back to where he was. And first thing I really need to do is I'm going to grab my hook, because since I've already touched him and he's always aware of me, at this point I'd like to grab my hook and move him out of the way so I can move his log back in place, and then he can safely go about his business right back under the log where he was. So let me see where my hook was. Where did my hook go? Here's my hook. So I'm going to grab my hook here. Going to grab me a good loop here, and that's just perfect. I'm going to put him right here, and I'm going to get this spider and kind of, come on, I had to scare the spider a little bit. out of the way so I don't squash the spider. Our little wolf spider pal. Don't want to squash him for any reason. There's no reason to do that. And now that we're all nice and done, I'm going to give this guy his log back. I'm going to put him on this side so he can see that he has his log to go back to, and he can do that. There we go. Come on, buddy. Go back under your log. Come on. Let's see if there's a open spot. Let's see. Howdy, wow. There he goes. All right, cool. So I had to just wake him up enough so he would go back under his log, because I didn't want him to get too chilly out here. Because if you know, if you are at the level you do this, or even if you're doing this with, you know, other, you know, non-venomous species, because like I said, I do not recommend you interacting with venomous species the way I do. I mean, you can see me do it here and learn from what I do, but as far as just learn about the animals, but don't learn to. This is not a course on how to handle venomous snakes, so don't take it as that, because it's not. Anyway, you know, when you're handling non-venomous, it's good to remember things like that. You know, if it's a little bit chilly when you find them, make sure that they go back under their log so that they're properly warm, because that's why they were there in the first place, is, you know, so they could hunker down during the cooler weather. So make sure to put them back.